Is no doubt being offered and instructions given to the players. Referee Mr. Campbell restarts and Billy Price gets the ball deep into Keighley territory. Don't particularly see any substitutes on the field. Chorley already having made two, as of course of Keighley in the first half. Wayne Race plays that ball, then brings on Carlton Farrell. And certainly in the second half, looking for some big hits really from these Keighley players, Darrell, running down this slope, both left to right and across as we look at the field, looking for some big movements from these second rowers of Keighley, charging and breaking the holes of this Chorley defence.
Yes, John, they've got to run from deep, get some pace up, and right now they're going to kick deep, let us follow the ball, give the man 10 and then put him under a lot of pressure. That looks a good kick, that's good, is that, as long as he doesn't run dead.
Man having taken the ball, the play's all on, says the referee, and that's taking play 10 metres or so from the Chorley line. Just finishing off the tackle there. McTeague looking to get away, offloads very well there as he does. Almost gets to the 20-metre line before being tackled. It's Gately and Farrell there doing the business on the defender. There, Martin Wood sniffing round as ever, drops on that ball, sets up the position for Keighley, moving the play up to the top side. Joe Grimmer striding through there, almost unchallenged it would appear, in spite of having players down in. Oh, nice ball there by Paul Moses to Martin Wood, a move that must have been tried in training fields up and down the country time and time again, and so often brings that try, Darrell.
Yeah, so nice little try that, John. It's such a simple little move, but excellently well executed with that. I was a bit disappointed with the referee really, because Martin knocked on when he gathered the first ball, but the referee was unsighted. He played to the whistle, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, afraid so, and we can complain ourselves, which, well, as individuals, whoever you happen to support on that particular issue. But as Darrell says, you've got to play to the whistle. If it's fortune on your side that it brings, then so be it. If it's not, again, that's the luck of the draw. John Basilou got the opportunity then of converting this first minute try by Martin Wood from right underneath the black dot. Which he duly does, puts it into the cricket square. And that's 6 early points there for Keighley. And again, that came from the downtown kick by Keith Dixon, putting the full back under pressure and tackling them and keeping the Chorley defence inside their own 20-metre area and forcing the error. Billy Price restarts then to the same place, and it's the same man who picks the ball up. Wayne Race gets very good ground there again as his attempted tackler Mark Edwards fails to bring him down at the first attempt. Joe Grimmer getting a further 10 metres forward. Mark Brook-Cowden just taking play, steadying it down up to this touchline side. It's going back once again. Dixon looks to see where the man is. It's a testing kick, and he's touched that ball, has he? The referee takes the advice of the touch judge. He says he has. Certainly looked to touch it from our position in the stand, and so that's Chorley driven back downfield again, some 70 metres or so. Well taken there on the far side from that drop out under the post, taking play back inside the 20-metre area. Carlton Farrell turning and spinning in the tackle as he goes further forward. It's Moses acting half, taking the ball down the bottom side. Gately's over there, offloads there to Phil Ball. Phil Ball looking again to get round, but Chorley packed that bottom side there of defence that time. Appleby this time. Joe Grimmer just using his shoulder to get in. Did it go forward? No, says the referee, but it was knocked on certainly. It was knocked on both ways. No advantage to Chorley, so it's a scrum down. A relieving scrum down as far as Chorley's concerned, because they have the head and ball, and it's only 10 metres from their line. It's Robinson puts the ball in for Chorley, out the back. Moving across quickly, Keighley 1-to-1 on that far side of the field, doing the tackling, keeping them inside that 20-metre area. That's the big fella Edwards, by the look of him, doing the work for Chorley, trying to get the play out, but in fact it's going backwards. They've got men over there on this side. If they can but get it out, could well finish up in touch, does well not to go in. Now the ball going across the slope, is it? It's coming, staying up this top touchline side, but it's well offloaded there by Ellis. But the receiver of the pass taken there by Ian Gately as the ball chipped over the top there. Keith Mumby, John Basilou. A good dummy there by John Basilou, not taking the ball down and leaving Keith Mumby to sweep.
Yeah, good job. Keith had his eye on the ball. I think he could have, most of the folk thought that John were going to take it there.
Yeah, you and me too. That's Andy Hinchliffe, midfield. Moses onto Joe Grimmer. Grimmer offloads to Gately. Gately needed to be in a running position, but he's released Appleby. Appleby's got Moses, but Appleby's leaving a lot of them. Steps inside, the fullback as though he's not there. The fullback, Richard Clayton, thumps the ground in disgust. But what a beautiful pass that was to Appleby, Darrell.
Yeah, it's a nice delayed pass there. The gap opened up, the man was coming in to take the tackle. He offloaded and Appleby went straight through the gap. Excellent pass and well finished.
Certainly was, and that's the second try in the space of 6 minutes for Keighley. Again, underneath the centre of the crossbar. And almost a formality of a goal kick for John Basilou. But as we say so often, everyone's important and everyone has to have the same level of concentration regardless of its position, and I'm sure John's going to do just that. There it is, 22 points to 6 then. And certainly, Darrell, the tactic, obviously in the dressing room at half-time wasn't, let's not bother running the ball downfield. Let's let the ball do its work for us and we'll chase it.
Yes, that's what it has to be on a pitch like this, John. Certainly get the ball down the hill and tackle, hold them out for 6. When they kick out, obviously with a bit of luck they shouldn't make more than the halfway line, then you've got possession in their half. That's the good tactics.
Wayne Race again getting back to that 20-metre line before being tackled. Struggling to get up and play the ball. He does so. Carlton Farrell takes the next drive. Moses onto Joe Grimmer. Grimmer again finding himself in almost the identical position as he was not 2 minutes ago, and here we go for the kick downtown. Dixon this time into the throat of the fullback, but he's run straight into the reception committee of the waiting Keighley defenders. Gets to only within 10 metres of the halfway line before being brought down. Edwards looking for the halfway line, but it's Hinchliffe, Grimmer and Mark Brooke-Cowden who prevent him getting there. Moving the ball across. Gately says thank you very much. Hangs on to that ball as the Chorley players spilled it in the tackle. Moses there out to Phil Ball. Phil Ball tackled though almost immediately as he got that ball. Appleby once more running across the face of play, brings on Martin Wood again with a nice delayed pass. Hinchliffe's going, he's got John Basilou. John Basilou's only got put the ball down and he scores, which he duly does in the top corner of the field. That's the third try there, and yet again, good thinking by Keighley, Darrell.
Yes, good thinking. Appleby opened them up the middle. They were caught in 2 minds with the man was running straight or whatever. Then a good pass to Martin. Martin went through the gap and offloaded. Really, it was once Martin had offloaded, it was a formality. Good try.
Yes, and it was, again, as Darrell says, that delayed pass to Martin that created the opening for Keighley, but common sense tactics, nothing silly, just straightforward, good rugby from Keighley there. Brings yet another 4 points onto the board, this time for John Basilou. Difficult conversion attempt for Vassalou here. Looking to get the score onto 28, but it settles at 26 at the moment. Oh, it looks good. Oh, and it just hits the bottom upright. Well, that was a superb attempt there. The referee stopping play now. In fact, it looks like it's going to be another penalty. In fact, he's given a penalty underneath the sticks for Keighley for a foul after the try had been scored, Darrell.
No, he's given him a penalty there under the sticks for the chorley number 2 hitting John Vassalou as he was in the process of scoring. It must be as he's scoring, not before and not after. In the process of putting the ball down, he took a swing at him, which is what the referee's indicated, which is another penalty under the post, which is what he's given.
That's certainly very interesting there. We'll just wait to see the outcome of this possible 8-pointer, and that's now 2 points. The referee, in fact, did stop the clock as well, Darrell, whilst that was taken.
Yes, he has to stop the clock, John, because it's not in normal play.
Very interesting. I'm sure not many people will know that. It's certainly an interesting feature, and it's very useful having the likes of Darrell, who is a referee, alongside us, who can explain these differences in the rules, because I'm sure, as well as not only the clock being stopped, I'm sure that most people would have thought that you could have had that extra penalty there for the foul after the try had been scored. But as Darrell indicated, it's only in the process of scoring, not before or after. Certainly a useful point to know and to remember for everybody, that one. As Keighley now then, Joe Grimmer, 25 metres from the Keighley line. Out to Appleby, brings on Mark Brooke-Cowden, just dips in the tackle, gets away from the first one. He's still going towards the halfway line. Tremendous foraging run forward there by Mark Brooke-Cowden. Keith Dixon gets that ball back from Moses, had a look to see where the fullback was, and it's a good kick because the fullback not able to make his mind up whether to take it or not, but he sees that the Keighley people have come up, and he puts the ball all the way back downfield for Keith Mumby to chase across the field, goes into touch, and equally a good tactic there, Darrell, by that fullback of Chorley.
Yes, it is a good tactic. We used to see it a lot when this six tackle first came in. Terry Price at Northern was excellent at it. They used to kick deep, they used to have kicking competitions between the fullbacks nearly. Good tactic.
Keighley almost pushed off that ball there, but Keith Mumby brought into the line there by Keith Dixon. Dixon at acting half, onto Appleby. It's Brooke-Cowden going down the far side there. He brings on Wayne Race. Wayne Race gets a haymaker around the top of his scalp. The referee's there to see it didn't make contact, but certainly the intention was there. It may just have brushed the top of his hair, but
just a point there that the referee actually played advantage. He waited till Wayne Race was tackled before blowing up. Had Wayne kept on going and scored, they've allowed the try and then pulled the player back. Not given the penalty, but pulled him out and told him.
Yes, certainly Mr. Campbell seems to be on the ball this afternoon as far as these are concerned, as Joe Grimmer now then takes play into the territory of Chorley, loses the ball, but it goes backwards. Carlton Farrell puts the ball out there. Ian Gately does very well to take it with a Chorley player around his neck. Appleby looking for, there's a lot. Keighley has stacked up this top side as Appleby taking it back down there. Looks in fact as though Keighley may have been overstacked on this top side there. Grimmer now driving the ball in towards the post, 15 metres from the Chorley line, right in front of the sticks. Dixon offloads there to Phil Ball. He's well taken out by his opposite number 3, John Ellis. Moses brings on Appleby, still play coming up this side as Dixon goes back inside with it. He's been dragged down eventually. It's the last tackle, says Mr. Campbell, 10 metres from the Chorley line. Joe Grimmer going up on this touchline side, but it's a penalty to Keighley for holding down in the tackle. Keighley took the penalty very, very quickly there. Moses once more at acting half. It was Dixon who took that penalty quickly. Gately driving in now. Offloads a back split tackle there to Brooke-Cowden. He's held up less than a couple of metres from the Chorley line. Chorley defending desperately, and Keighley moves the ball out there. It misses Keith Mumby. It was a bad pass there, unable to get to it. Phil Ball very fortunate to be on station, and this is Martin Wood now. 10 metres from the Chorley line. Keighley, Darren Appleby. It's now Ian Gately using his strength and his weight to move forward, but he's lost the ball, says the referee, has he? The referee's saying the ball's down on the floor. It's a knock-on, so it's a scrum down there to Chorley. Oh, in fact, Keighley head and ball. Explain that one if Ian Gately lost the ball, Daryl.
I think what the referee was saying, John, if you watched him, he was patting like a basketball player. What he was saying was that Gately passed and a Chorley player knocked the ball down to the ground, intercepted the ball down to the ground. And hence, it was a knock-on.
Right, fine, thanks very much, Darrell. And Keighley, having got the ball from the scrum, lose it before the first tackle even there, as ball knocked up in the air and gathered by a Chorley player. So they're in possession now, working the ball up this hill. They've got the numbers on this top side, allowing the wingman eventually to get the ball in the shape of Lee Crooks. But he's unable to, well, Lee Crooks is tackled. It's the centre there who eventually got the ball, and Keighley now defending. It's the 5th tackle. Play still inside the Chorley half of the field. Oh, and a bad mistake there by Chorley. Is it the fullback? Certainly got the headgear on, as the fullback has, and that... No, it isn't the fullback, it's another player with headgear on there. I think it's probably Billy Price. Martin Wood then, after that ball coming out Keighley's side, looking to offload, but there's nobody there. Moses now acting half. Appleby looks to go through, and he's... I thought he caught a slap around the head there by the... not the player who dropped him on the ground, but apparently not. Ian Gator looking to offload there, but not able to do so. A Chorley man coming in. In fact, it's a penalty now to Chorley for... Is it pinching or is it round the neck, pulling the head off? That penalty then for Chorley, taking play 10 metres from the halfway line. Price driving the ball in, gets to within a couple of metres of the halfway line. It's moving across, missing out too, as Edwards now, the receiver, looks to offload. But his own player's telling him to take the tackle, go down. That's the fullback Clayton, offloads backwards. 4 tackles, I believe. I heard Mr. Campbell call there. Crooks taking that ball in again, thinking about offloading. Keith Dixon doing well not to drop on that ball there, because it was offside. Oh, a nice pick up there, and it's McTeague going, oh, that 14 yards forward there by Chorley's number 13 McTeague, but nonetheless a good break by them from this top side there, Darrell.
Yes, an excellent break there, nice little chip over the top. I think it was the scrum half, took it on the first bounce, took it exceptionally well. Really good break, that.
Certainly a well-judged chip, because it dropped short of Keighley fullback Keith Mumby, who was left almost in no man's land. McTeague taking the ball on, but a magnificent forward pass resulted in that scrum that we've just seen. And Keith Dixon now is chasing that ball, and there's a number of Keighley chasers. And I think Clayton's going to drop on it. He is, and he's met by Dixon. Is he pushed over his own line? No, not quite. He is indeed, says the referee. He's been pushed over his own line. Excellent kick and chase there by Keith Dixon. He'd got Andy Hinchcliffe and John Basilou in support. John Basilou just looking at the touch judge and taking his advice, and not to take on the full-back, because he hadn't kicked and he was in front of Dixon when he did kick. But Keith Dixon was there. He was the man who kicked, and he was the man who caught. He put them all onside, as Carlton Farrell now 20 metres from the line. Ian Gately onto Moses, Appleby looks to offload. It's a lolloping pass to Hinchcliffe, eventually gets it. It was a pass of no sorts at all, was that one, but Hinchcliffe did manage to sweep it up, as Moses now acting half. Joe Grimmer offloads there, Martin Wood, and it's McTeague there for Chorley. In fact, all Martin Wood had to do was take that ball and put it over the line, but not able to do so, and that's Edwards, well dumped in the tackle. And referee just stopping play there for an injury. And Darrell, I'm just wondering whether Keighley are just a little bit over anxious to get some more points on the board and just not settling it enough.
That's what it appears to be, John, that they're trying to play at 500 mile an hour. If they settled it down a bit, you know, and give the early pass, I think they're all trying to beat the man before laying the pass off, so that the man all has to do is catch it and put it down. Instead of playing basic football, going to the man and offloading before they get there. I think a little bit better if they do that, slow themselves down a little bit.
And Cadell then, the player still down on the floor there for Chorley. I think it must be Edwards after that tackle was made on him, just had the wind knocked out of him. And Chorley driving forward, almost escaping the clutches there of the Keighley defenders, Mark Brooke-Cowden and Andy Hinchliffe. Joe Grimmer there just finishes off John Carney as he just comes forward in a straight line. Ball moving across field there through the hands of Billy Price and Stand-Up Ashcroft. Chorley then still 15 metres inside their own half of the field. Play the ball, and it's been Edwards again. Well taken, well tackled down below there by Mark Brooke-Cowden, with Paul Moses stopping the man up top. Here comes the kick by Billy Price, left foot. They're all offside, the Chorley players, if they don't get back 10, but the referee says they're all okay now as Wayne Race bounces off the shoulder charge and gets through. Very good break there by Wayne Race. Good yardage gained as Keighley once more coming up this top side. Ian Gately tackled in possession. Darren Appleby pointing up to this top corner. As play yet again coming up, Joe Grimmer takes play away from that as Appleby looks to offload, almost gets it away, but the tackle of Billy Price just prevents him doing so. Martin Wood now out to Phil Ball. Phil Ball jinking and working his way back in field, setting up a wider option for Keighley now. Options left and right, but it's Joe Grimmer driving in. Almost losing the ball there as he was offering it over the line, trying to drop down with it, unable to do so. Moses gets it out now to Appleby. Appleby a little chip forward over the line, and that was dropped over the line there. In fact, must have just been this side of the line where that ball was dropped, Darrell.
No, dropped over the line, but he's got a play advantage there. Keighley, they could have dived on it, could have been a try.
Yeah, looking at the first one, of course, it was over the line, as I said originally, but this is Phil Ball now then. Takes that ball, tackled by McTeague. Midfield, some 25 metres from the Chorley line. Carlton Farrell driving into the 20-metre area. Moses again at acting half. Oh, and that's a poor pass, a terrible pass. Darren Appleby doing extremely well, even to get near it. And one or two of these passes from Paul not being of the out of the top draw this afternoon, Darrell.
No, that wasn't John. I think he thought he would try to pass 35 yard there, where he was spinning it. Spin pass usually goes a bit further, and he was only 5 or 6 yards away. Was Appleby in him? Hopeless pass.
The scrum collapsing there, and as the scrum collapses and the referee orders the reformation of it, we see the carrot-coloured hair of Steve Hall get up off the bench. Keighley's ball there, is it? No, it's gone out the back of the scrum, kicked out. It's Clayton, the fullback, in possession. Steve Hall, as we predicted, coming back on in this second half. No Keighley player injured, but it's halfway through the second half. He's probably going to, I don't know, difficult to say who he's going to bring off. We'll see when the board goes up. But ball out there by Edwards, but the receiver unable to get any further forward. Appleby and Gately and that man Brooke-Cowden doing the tackling. Last tackle once again coming up. Referee got his hand in the air. Here comes the kick, hits the player, goes into touch, does it? Indeed it does. So it's a head and ball to Chorley. And the substitute board goes up. It's It's number 12, Ian Gately, in fact, who's having had his hour on the field. It's Steve Hall goes back. It's a straightforward second row for second row replacement. Ball then out to Chorley. Would have been a good ball if he'd have taken it cleanly, but it's Martin Woods who sweeps up. Goes past the first player, goes past the second, gets the ball inside there. Andy Inchliff it is who puts the ball underneath the post. Not wanting to say anything derogatory, but I wonder, I don't know, but I just wonder whether that pass to Andy was marginally forward, Darryl.
Looked it for me, John.
I thought so as well. But nonetheless, Mr. Campbell not saying so, and he was almost level with play. That's Andy Inchliff with one on the 65th minute for Keighley. John Basilou then adds the extras to the Inchliff try on 66 minutes. The public address announcer here becoming more and more depressed with his announcements of the try scorers. 6 tries so far for Keighley. Billy Price then gets play underway. Bill Ball regathers on the touchline side. Wayne Race doing the driving job again. Almost 30 metres from his own line. Joe Grimmer looking to offload. Carlton Farrell's there. Carlton Farrell's going down the bottom zone. He's taking the full-back on, handing the full-back off, but oh well, how well tackled there as a Keighley player though, Joe Grimmer, taken out there after the ball had gone. Keighley then just through the hands of Martin Woods. Martin Woods who sees it back from Brooke Cowden. He goes under the post. Nice offload, nice run round there between Brooke Cowden and Martin Woods. Gets Keighley another 4 points and almost 6.
Yeah, it's a good try that. I like the way Carlton took him on, took the full-back on. Fortunately, he just hasn't quite got the pace. I think I'll have a bit of sprint training for him. I'll have a word about that. And but Keighley kept the ball alive, come back up the field, and they had the numbers on Chorley. A good try.
Yes, certainly was, and that's another try in the space of a minute for Keighley. 67 minutes. Joe Grimmer doesn't want to come off, but Ian Gately's had all of 3 minutes here on the bench. He's had enough as Ian to get his win back. Joe Grimmer's done his job. He's coming back on the bench. Very, very warm applause from the crowd here and stand for Joe Grimmer. 100% performance from him this afternoon. He comes off, replaced by Ian Gately. And that's the 4th substitution for Keighley. As John Basilou adds the extras to Martin Woods' try. The man on the scoreboard having difficulty keeping up, but it's 7 tries and 6 goals. And I make that, is that 44? 40. He's having difficulty operating it, I'm having difficulty counting, and the man there kicking the ball, Billy Price, having difficulty keeping it inside the field of play. So that's a penalty to add to Chorley's trauma. On the halfway line, John Basilou just waits for the ball to be passed to him by Keith Dixon. And in fact, John Basilou having a go at goal. I'm not right sure what the tactics are there, Darryl. Is it a case of run the salt in the wound, or just if it goes dead, we get the ball back anyway?
I think that's all it is, John. If the ball goes dead, give the players a breather as well. I mean, the game's won now. We've used 4 substitutes with no more subs to go on. you're not bothered now. Just play the game out without any more injuries. That's all. That's okay. If they want any more points now, a bonus. Just waste a bit of time. Good tactic.
Well, they certainly do that, because John always takes his time over these kicks, whether they're in the middle of the field or on the flanks, and whether from the 20-metre or from the halfway line. There's 10 minutes on the watch left, and the score currently reads 40 points to 6 in Keighley's favour. It's certainly high, it's spinning, the crowd say it's good, and so do the touch judges. 42 points to 6. Billy Price does much better with that restart. Carlton Farrell this time got the honour of running the ball out, but chooses to run across the face rather than at the players. He's brought down some 15 metres from his own line. Moses onto Ian Gately. Gately driving in. And 3 minutes on the bench brings back a new amount of life. I was just about to say that we haven't seen much of Steve Hall since he came back on, and having thought that, he immediately makes about 15 metres break down the far side, but still not quite able to break the tackles. Just short of the halfway line. Then Keith Dixon chips over the top, does the chasing. It's a good kick, is that? Kicking on, it's chasing now. Is he going to regather it? Regathers perfectly, goes underneath the post. Oh, really, Darrell, that's got to be a killer for Chorley.
Yes, it really has, John. An excellent try, nice little chip over. We saw that the fullback was caught in no man's land, stuck a boot out, kicked the ball again, and the bounce was kind for Keith. He just took it and dived over the line. Excellent try.
Yeah, it certainly was indeed. And Carlton Farrell just having a word there with John Basilou. I think he fancied a chance at goal himself there, but John says, you get away, that's my job. Looking for his 8th goal of the afternoon then is the Keighley winger, John Basilou. Much less effort required in the power behind this kick compared to his last one that he launched from the halfway line for a penalty goal. But nonetheless, the concentration still there, still gets the same results. 2 extra points there for Keighley. 2 balls out of the field with none left, we don't think. Yes, there's still one in the dugout here. It's 8 goals, 8 tries. And that's 48 points to 6, Keighley lead, as Billy Price yet again kicks off for Chorley. And Keith Dixon yet again passes that ball to Carlton Farrell, runs straight this time. Doesn't quite make 20 metres. Ian Gately finds the gap, just brought down by the collar by Jeff Robinson, the Chorley scrum half. Out there to Appleby, out again to Wood. Wood brings on Basilou. Basilou going to take him on, takes the wingman on, goes round the outside. He's going round the outside of the full-back. Is he dragged into touch? No, he's stopped just inside the touchline side there. Darren Appleby then on to Martin Wood. Martin Wood misses out the place. Swift hands out to the far side there. Phil Ball it is, going down the far corner. Going in at the far corner is Phil Ball. The referee just holds his arms out and then points to the spot. But that's another try for Keighley. 9 tries now then, this scored. 7 of those in the second half. Oh, sorry, 5 of those in the second half. I beg your pardon, 7 in the second half. I can't add up, I can't do very much at the moment with these the score changing so rapidly. But 7 tries in this second half. That one coming this time to Phil Ball after a good break down this top touchline by John Vaslow, Darrell.
Yeah, it's a good break. I thought that John should have offloaded when he got to the full-back, but he decided to keep it, and then Keighley kept the ball alive quite well to get down to the bottom end. 1 or 2 dodgy passes in it, but they got away with it, and Phil Ball finished it well in the corner.
They all look the same on the scoreboard at the end of the day, and that one there takes Keighley beyond the 50-point mark. Taking his time then over the far corner. He fancies double figures, I suspect, this afternoon on goals, and he's only 2 short at the moment. Can he bring himself within 1 with this conversion attempt? Only a couple of metres inside the far touch line. The crowd like it, and so do we. That's 9 points, 9 tries rather, 9 goals. 54 points to 6, as Chorley must be completely fed up of standing on this halfway line. But I'm pleased to see that Keighley have not let them off the hook. They've been thoroughly professional about this afternoon. They've scored the points, they've taken the chances. Wayne Race now bursting out of that 20-metre area. Good run straight forward. Carlton Farrell this time dips the shoulder in the tackle. Mark McCowden now spinning and turning in the tackle as he goes to the ground. Moses acting half. Darren Appleby up to Martin Wood. Martin Wood has to take the man on. He does. Goes in between them. He's got the number 3, but John Ellis was there to tackle him. He had Paul Moses on his right-hand side, but he couldn't get the ball out. But that's Moses this time. Just dummies there to Ian Gately onto Keith Dixon. Dixon gets the ball back inside to Gately. Gately sidestepping round the prop. Out there, it's on the far side on the wing. Wayne Race gets the ball inside. Looked a bit forward to us over here, but it's the last tackle, says the referee. He didn't think the pass was forward. Ball coming upfield quickly. Appleby offloads. Knocked on there by... knocked down and knocked on by the Chorley defender, and it's Martin Woods up the top side here. Looks as though he's got some sort of an injury to his left ankle, being treated by the physio at the moment. Only a couple of minutes on the normal time left now. Out then this time, it's Andy Inchliff. Andy Inchliff to Darren Appleby. Appleby's looking to get that ball away, but he couldn't do so. It's Steve Hall acting half. Goes up the hill on his own. Drives towards the Chorley defenders. He's held short though. Gets up, plays the ball. Paul Moses out there to Appleby. Not again the best of passes. Ian Gately in the spot there that I suspect Martin Wood should have been in. Martin onto Appleby now then. Appleby onto Dixon. Dixon out there to the far side to Phil Ball. He loses the ball in the tackle. Chorley almost in the clear there, but unable to take advantage of that territorial possibility. McTeague now moving the ball across. Edwards, tackle there, loses the ball in the tackle. The referee says it was pulled out, stripped in the tackle, that ball. Ian Gately, the possible culprit. And the ball in touch then, some 30 metres from the line. Martin Wood limping badly, now left the field with less than 2 minutes. And that substitute Tony Hodgson come back on for Chorley. We saw him flat on his back only moments after he came onto the field. He's back on, and Chorley now moving the ball across. Oh, a nice tackle there by Carlton Farrell on standoff Ashcroft. When Chorley almost looked as though there might have been thrown. There could be through here now if they move that ball out, but they're not going to be able to. And in fact, they're driven back some 4 or 5 metres in the process. Referee has a quick look at his watch as the ball comes across again. Dummy in there, Edwards it is in possession. But for all his endeavours, he's not able to get the Chorley attack any further than 10 metres from the Keighley line. And Chorley can't believe the luck being in this portion of the field so close to the end of the game, and that's the hooker number 9, Joe Walsh, goes over for a consolation try. As I said, Darrell, I don't think Chorley could have believed the luck being so far upfield, and we're just looking a bit wondering as to what they should be doing, but Joe Walsh showed them what to do, didn't he?
Yes, he saw the gap and went straight through it. I think Keighley have relaxed a little bit. They're expecting a final whistle. As you said, there's a couple of minutes to go. They're out of 12 men. The score doesn't really matter, but I don't think Peter will be too chuffed about letting him in so late on.
Oh, 54 points to 10 then the score. Well into this time added on for stoppages now then, as a good comprehensive victory for Keighley. Some 9 tries and 9 goals. John Vassalou has the goals. And we've got tries scored by Andy Hinchcliffe, he's got a couple. Keith Dixon's got 3. Martin Woods has got a couple. And John Vassalou's also got 2. I think that adds up to 9. If I've missed anybody out, I'm sorry. But according to my chart, I think we've just got them all. But barring the couple from Martin Wood, very interesting to see that all the tries coming from the backs of Keighley. They were doing the finishing off of the endeavours of the Keighley forwards. A good all-round comprehensive display by Keighley. The final score then is 54 points to Keighley, 12 points to Chorley, and in a moment we'll just be having a word with Andy Ayres about the game.
The Manly team bunch in anticipation of the kick-off. Ellery Hanley. And now the sprints across the ground.